at solving with logs and natural logs. And we'll go into what a natural log is in a minute here. So the first thing I want to take a look at, let's ask if we were to evaluate this. So we need to figure out what this is. So we have 2 to the x equals 2, so it would be 1. So log base 2 of 2 equals 1. Well, what about this one? We need to figure out what it is. So we got 3 to the x equals 3. Well, that means it would be 1. So log base 3 of 3 equals 1. Well, I bet you can guess here, 7 and 7, well, that's going to be 1. And this will be 1. So if we have those two numbers are the same, it's got to be 1 here. So when we take a look at solving some of these, we're going to look at 2 different ways that you can solve this. Well, I know we're going to log each side here. So let's see, if I did log base 3 of 3 to the x, if I log base 3 on this side, I need a log base 3 on this side. Well, 3, 3. So x equals log base 3 of 11. And if we type that in your calculator here, go to your scratch pad. Oops, escape out of there. Log key, log base 3 of 11. We get 2.18. The other way sometimes you'll see it done is people just say, I'm going to log each side. So log of 3 to the x. So just using log base 10. Now we know this exponent here, that can come out in front. Same thing here, this x was coming out in front there. So we have x log base 3, log base 11, divide by log 3. And then we have that same thing. And on your calculator, we can make that fraction. Log, you don't have to put in a base 10, it will assume it. Log, did I do these backwards? Yep, it should be log 11 divided by log 3. Whoops. So you'll see we get the same answer. So for example, this one, the first way we could log base 2 of 2 to the x plus 1, log base 2 of 5. Our exponent will come out in front. We know this is equal to 1, so we have x plus 1, log base 2 of 5 minus 1. So x equals, we can go back to our calculator, log base 2 of 5 minus 1, 1.32. The other way is we can just log each side with base 10. 2 to the x plus 1, log of 5. X plus 1 comes out in front. Once again, we can divide by log of 2. So we have x plus 1 equals log 5 over log 2. And then we can subtract the 1. And you'll end up with that same number. So natural log, that's the same as log base e. And just like log of 10, base 10 occurs often, so does a base of e. So when you're first solving these, what I would do is I would first rewrite it with log base e of x, just to get used to it. So let's get our log by itself. So let's see, we got 6.5 divided by negative 16.25, negative 0.4. Well, to solve it, we could put it into exponential. E to the negative 0.4 equals x. Oops, so let's see. Negative 0.4, 0.67, 0.02. And then on this one, again, I would rewrite it as log base e of x equals 2.3. So exponential e to the 2.3 equals x. And we end up with 9.97. So now we're going to take a look at some solving ones here. So here's another one here with e's. Anytime you see e, you usually use natural log. So if we natural log each side, we can bring that x out in front. Now if you guys remember, this is log base e of e. So our bases are the same, so that's 1. So x equals, that looks like a 1 of 1.53. And on your calculator, it's right above that e key. So natural log, and we have 0.42. So again, there's an e, so we can natural log each side. Our x comes out in front. So that's 1. So if we type in the natural log of 0.003, negative 0.58, negative 5.8, excuse me. All right, find the inverse. Well, how do we find inverse? We switch the x and y. So x equals 1/3 e to the 2y. Well, let's get our exponent by itself. So times 3 times 3. So 3x equals e to the 2y. Well, we have to get that out in front, and it's e. So if we natural log each side, we can bring our 2y out in front. We know this is equal to 1, so divide by 2. So we have your inverse. So that inverse, we have it there, is the natural log of 3x over 2. And now a couple more solving ones. So you can solve using log or natural log on each side to take that exponent out, so we can bring it down in front. So if we log 6 to the 3x, log of 81, and again we're just assuming base 10, 3x comes out in front, and then we can divide by 3 log 6. So let's type that in. So we have log of 81, 3 times the log of 6, negative 0.82. You would get the same thing if you would have natural logged each side and used that natural log key. So here's another one. Well, actually, I'm going to pause the video here and you can look at this one under part 2.